Life is so short to wear boring clothes. We all love fashion. We have different dresses for each occasions. Business suits, party wears, comfy joggers. How much should you pay for the clothes in your wardrobe? If you have the receipts, you can calculate this. Growing the cotton, dyeing the yarn, sewing the buttons. Nobody really knows how many places your shirt has traveled before it arrived in your wardrobe. Fast fashion has a long, untraceable supply chain. However, there is a cost behind each dress, pair of jeans, shirt and socks that goes unnoticed by most people. The cost to the environment. I am Bhavna, a first-year tech student trying to speak out and take action against climate change, and I'm glad I have a great audience who are going to take action along with me. The United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, estimates that it takes 10,000 liters of water to create a pair of jeans. This means roughly 33.4 kilos of carbon equivalent emissions. You might wonder, why is there so much of water wasted in fast fashion? Cotton is an extremely thirsty plant. The textile industry not only wastes garment and energy, but also a significant quantity of water. As I said before, it requires 10,000 liters of water to create a pair of jeans. Consider how long you would take to drink it. I'm lucky if I get 2 liters of water in a day. Regardless, millions of people who live in underdeveloped nations who cultivate cotton or live near textile industries lack access to safe drinking water. What is the relationship between cotton and climate change? What's more surprising is that the world's 4th largest lake, the Aral Sea in Uzbekistan, is on the verge of drying up according to the World Economic Forum. The water level has decreased 23 meters down when cotton farmers began utilizing the water for irrigation. The Aral Sea maintained a natural balance, and its absence has caused the surrounding mountain glaciers to melt as the temperature has risen. It's heartbreaking. What was once a flourishing lake and a fishing village is now a contributor to climate change and a significant health danger for the locals. Unfortunately, Uzbekistan is still a big cotton producer, and climate change is just a part of the problem. Imagine the environmental cost of everything in our wardrobe if this is just a case for a pair of jeans. The UNEP and Ellen MacArthur Foundation have produced the following figures to give us an idea. The fashion industry utilizes 93 million cubic meters of water every year, which is enough to cover the need of 5 million people. Fabric dyeing and treatments accounts for around 10% of global wastewater. 87% of the total input fiber used in clothing is burned or disposed in landfills. The fashion industry is responsible for 10% of the annual global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. By 2030, the fashion industry's impact on climate change will increase by 50% rate, mentions the UNEP. Every year, 500,000 tons of plastic microfibers, which is equivalent to 50 billion plastic bottles, are poured into the ocean. What is the risk? Microfibers are impossible to remove and can spread throughout the food chain. So, the fashion industry's impact on climate change is titanic. Where do these emissions come from? You must search the supply chain to find out. The supply chain is a web link that runs from your wardrobe to the retail, transportation and shipping, production and processing, and all the way back to the beginning of the line, the raw materials used to make our items such as cotton and polyester. It may come as a surprise to find out among all parts of fashion, fibers are the greatest source of emissions. The textile fibers accounts for 2/3 of carbon emissions. Synthetic fibers such as nylon and polyester are non-renewable and are made from fossil fuels such as crude oil. Synthetic fibers consume an estimated of 342 million barrels of oil every year. Recycled and reclaimed fibers are one option to mitigate these emissions. A circular production chain can be followed instead of a linear production chain in which the textiles are made, used and discarded. Rather than being burnt, a cloth is reintroduced into the supply chain and is used to make another garment. My dress is your dress. There is a distinction between recycling and reclaiming. When a product is recycled, it's broken down into its components. For example, a polo t-shirt into synthetic fibers, and it can be reincarnated into anything made of synthetic fibers. But when a product is reclaimed, it stays in the final condition and it's reused for its intrinsic feature rather than being reduced to its components. For example, a denim jean being transformed into a denim backpack. While this solution is promising, it requires the installation of systems to intercept the textiles before they are discarded, have them processed, and then have them returned to the appropriate point of the supply chain, one that is specialized for working with recycled products. A circular fashion business is characterized as a regenerative system in which the clothing is circulated as long as the maximum value is kept and then securely returned to the biosphere when no longer in use. Products are planned and developed in a circular model with the next stage in mind. Only around 1% of the clothes are recycled into new garments. Buying less and reusing more is one of the best things we can do. It would have a significant collective and a good influence on Earth if everyone bought at least one used item this year. Alternatively, fashion items should be designed with resource efficiency, non-toxicity, biodegradability, and recyclability in mind. When items aren't recyclable, they should at least be biodegradable so that they can be used as a compost. The connection between producers and consumers has spiraled out of control like a treadmill that can only accelerate. Producers have artificially stimulated the consumer demand through the use of technology such as online shopping, which encourages impulsive and extravagant purchases with offers and deals, raising the middle-class audience. How can we fix this? We can use alternative materials which are sustainable. The world's first outfit manufactured of Milo mushroom leather, a sustainable leather substitute created from mycelium. The perpetually renowned underground root structure of mushrooms were launched by English fashion designer Stella McCartney in March in partnership with their longtime collaborator Bold Threads. Not just McCartney, but also Hermes, a premium design label, debuted a bag made of fine mycelium. Mycelium interestingly grows best in labs with air, water, and mulch and is engineered to have low environmental effects. Technology and research are playing a vital role in making the industry more sustainable. Athletic shoes and attires are getting made of plastics dumped into the ocean. Fish skins and natural dyes are replacing chemicals. Fruit skins are substituting fur. Backpack and purses are getting made of discarded canvas, mentions the World Bank organization. Hemp is known to not only absorb carbon dioxide, but also other hazardous contaminants in the environment, making it as an important apparel of environmental friendly component. Linen is a natural cloth created from fibers of the flax plant. Linen dates back to roughly 7000 BC, making it as one of the world's oldest material. It's white, lightweight, and durable. Despite being a superior material, it's gentle on the environment and it requires the least amount of water, energy, pesticides in comparison with other fibers such as cotton and polyester. Handmade linen declined as cotton production became mechanized in the 19th century. The recycling of plastics into fabrics is another example of footprint reducing endeavor, with Patagonia making the first polyester fleece jacket with recycled bottles. Polyester recycling employs less energy than original production, resulting in lower emissions. Finding solutions to climate emergency requires addressing the major sources of greenhouse gas emissions, which includes transportation, food, and energy sector. We are learning to make environmental friendly choices about what we eat, how we travel about, and how we power our houses. But we don't typically look at what we are wearing. We should too. How do we stop it from happening anymore? Because you and me are the problem. We can find solutions together. Buy less. The root of the problem lies in our excessive consumerism. We buy 10 while our grandmothers bought 2. We tend to think buying new clothes will make us happy. maybe we should reconsider some foundations of our lifestyle. The most environmental friendly sustainable jacket is the one already in your wardrobe. Buy better quality. Because clothes have become so cheap, we no longer care about the quality. We just buy new clothes when the old one loses its shape or appeal. If we stop buying poor quality, it will push the brands to improve the quality, which will make us to keep our clothes for longer, which is good for our wallets as well as for the environment. Think twice before throwing your clothes. Do not throw your clothes in normal bins because most of them consist of synthetic and non-biodegradable materials. Try to repair them. Sometimes, with a bit of imagination, you can repair or redesign a torn garment. Donate your clothes to friends, families, or neighbors. Take care of your garments to make them last longer. As we all know, Miss Universe 2021 was recently conducted successfully, and India reclaimed the crown after 21 long years. India's representative Harna Sandhu was asked, "Many people think climate change is a hoax. What would you do to convince them otherwise?" India's answer and spontaneity were just masterly. She replied, "Honestly, my heart is breaking to see what nature is going through, and it's all due to our irresponsible behavior. And this is the time to take action because each action can save or kill nature. Prevent and protect is better than repent and repair, and this is what I'm trying to convince you guys today." As well said, now is never late. Instead of spectating, let's start working together. Prevent and protect is better than repent and repair are such great impulsive words. Together, we can all take small actions every day to reduce our carbon footprint, which is good for. Together, we can all take small actions every day to reduce our carbon footprint for a better world for ourselves and the future generations to come. Healing our planet starts from our wardrobe. Change only happens when you and I take action. While your environmental friendly clothing choice might look like a very small step, it could be a small step for a big change. Thank you.